Welcome to Off and Pacing for Snooze Cannington and Coburn. It's amazing what a little snooze can do.
Great to have your company for another edition of Off and Pacing. Thanks to the team at Snooze for bringing us this edition this morning. Tim Walker with you, and we've got a very busy program on the way. Matt and Ollie, our experts, to join us in a couple of moments' time, and Aiden De Campo will be with us as well off the back of a couple of feature wins on Friday night. Last Hard Copy and also Copycat Queen getting the job done for him, so we'll be able to chat about that and also a couple of his runners to look forward to over the next little while. Don't forget, if you have got a thought, you can share it on 0427789571 over the course of the next half hour or so. But let's not waste any time. Let's get stuck straight into it. On this Monday morning, we've got Matt Young and Ollie Cownie standing by. Matt, to you firstly, good morning.
Good morning again to you, Tim. Good morning, Ollie, and everyone tuned in.
Great to have you on board as well, Ollie Cownie.
Morning, Tim. Morning, Matt. Yeah, great to be on board. It's been a really exciting few days of racing. We had the first round of heats for the Inters on Saturday, and it's just always a pleasure to see the champion leap to fame go around.
Yeah, it certainly is. So maybe just as a little starting point before we look local, Ollie, what was your take out of Saturday night?
Oh, I mean, we saw leap to fame again, and he was pretty dominant, but we all sort of expected him to do that. I thought there were some really interesting performances there. Catch a Wave, he was probably pretty ordinary first up at Melton. He was really impressive there on Saturday night, and he's probably one that's going to be hard to hold out for the placings. And another one that was really impressive was Captain's Knock. So they're certainly horses to look out for, as well as Don Hugo, but we know how good he is as well. So looks like it's going to be a really good series, but the biggest battle is probably for the placings behind Leap to Fame. Yeah.
Matt, did you get to take in some of the action from Albion Park?
Yeah, I loved watching Leap to Fame. He's one of my favourites to watch. And he worked off the fence, and it was just the sections that he can run is what gets me. He just drops a 27 like it's a 30-second quarter for an average horse. So he's a freak of nature, that's for sure. And I just thought a bit similar to what Ollie was saying about Catch a Wave is that he almost profiled like he did before he's come across to the Nullarbor a couple of times, where his performances have been a little bit suspect, and then he comes to where it gets to the business part of his preparation, and then he just goes bang, bang. So yeah, I thought he was a decent run. I'm looking forward to the rest of the series. But, yeah, at this stage, and I'm sure Ollie would agree, I'm pretty sure they're running for second money as long as Leap to Fame stays sound.
Yeah, he's got the home ground advantage. He's so very hard to beat, full stop, but in particular at Albion Park. It's been a long time since he's tasted defeat up there, and he's going to be mighty hard to beat. A terrific night of pacing action it was there at Albion Park on Saturday night. All right, let's look locally if we can, gents. And we might just start with the free-for-all. What was it? Basically the free-for-all event on Friday night. We saw He's a Sport, the Nullarbor Freo Cup place. Ollie, just a quick thought on his performance, obviously, with an eye towards this week's Winter Cup.
We probably didn't learn a great deal out of that race. We know He's a Sport is a really nice horse, and once he found the front there, it was all pretty much, a formality. He won, and he won pretty easily there, and they didn't run super fast times, but he did it easy. Long Reach Bay, he showed that he's just a really good horse on the rails, and he showed brilliant gate speed there on Friday night to get across before taking the sit, which is not what he usually does, but he's probably tasted defeat a couple of times now to He's a Sport, so they decided to change tactics there, and it worked really well. He ran a really good second, and Bricky's Dream, he's flying at the moment, and the whole team for Robbie Williams, they're going super, so he's run another really good race there.
Yeah. Matt, did you have a thought out of that race?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's disappointing that we didn't get to see He's a Sport and Minstrel head to Queensland for the Inter-Dominion Series, but it was good to see He's a Sport bounce back. Had to be dug up in the early stages to try and hold talks up a storm, but I thought the tactics were spot on with Long Reach Bay. Weren't able to beat him on that last occasion, so take the cover and earn the money. It's good money to run into the placing, so with his gate speed, he can keep doing that week in, week out, nearly long reach base. So it's a really good position for him. Ricky's Dream hit the line really well. I thought a couple from back in the field, one that I've got in a horse to follows, definitely caught the eye as well. It was just a bit of a walk and a sprint, 32 first quarter for He's a Sport. That's just taking the mickey, basically. Yeah. It was just a paid trial for him. So, yeah, it was impressive win, but we come to expect that from He's a Sport, so it was just stock standard.
Well, why don't you go there, Matt, obviously, with your horse to follow, and it's the horse that finished closer to the rear than the winner?
Yeah, well, I've been following this horse for a while, and he's always been a horse that I've got a lot of time for, Lusaka, and he can't buy a draw at the moment. That's sort of where we're at with him. He keeps drawing wide, and he's won from a wide draw at Bunbury when he beat Penny Black and that in the Mania Classic, and he was never winning on Friday night, but I was really taken by the way that he hit the line again, and I think, going forward, he's just won that. He just needs a draw, and I think he's going to play a significant role in any race that he heads towards very soon. So he's definitely on the list of horses to follow. I've been following Flying Rumour for a while. If you back Flying Rumour on Friday, just didn't have any luck back in the field. Barrier draw, this is another one that can't buy a draw, but at the same token, thought they got home in 28.5. He made up a heap of ground. It was a really nice effort, Flying Rumour. He's ready to win, so continue following him. And then one on a lesser scale, who was racing better horses, Better Than Secret. I thought she went around and hit the line really strongly as well. So respect Better Than Secret too, because she's got the capacity to be able to drop back into an easier race. And she's travelling like a horse that's ready to explode in a lesser grade. So I'm expecting her to run a good race in a country grade event very soon. But Flying Rumour, Lusaka and Better Than Secret were the three that caught my eye on Friday night.
And what about for you, Ollie?
Yeah, the one caught my eye in race 3, and it was noted in the Parade Ring pre-race that they'd put the work up to 2 Bob Cracker after he over-raced quite badly there. His previous start at, I think it was Northam. And on Friday night, he led them up and he over-raced again, but he just kept going. He was really, really strong there. They ran 29.6, 29.4 the first half, and he was still able to run a 28.8 down the back and a 28.5 on the way home, and they rated a really fast mile rate for that type of grade. So I thought it was a terrific effort there to only be beaten 3.7 metres, and if he was able to settle it at any time or get a little bit of a breather, I think he would have been too good for them. And certainly the winner there, What Are the Odds? He's a pretty classy horse and a nice horse, so to be beaten that short of margin after he over-raced the whole way, I thought it was a super effort. And if he's able to lead in a race like this again, I think he's gonna take plenty of catching there. So I'm keen to keep following him. The next horse I had to follow is probably one that's likely to go around longer odds again, but Manhattan Moon. I think this horse is going particularly well at the moment. He's just been sat up, save for one run each of his starts, and he keeps hitting the line strongly, and he was badly held up there on Friday. It looked like he was bolting and he just couldn't get clear at the right time, and he just the runs didn't come, but I think he had plenty to give there, and if they did come, I thought he would have been right in the finish there. So certainly one to keep following there. And then my last horse to follow was out of the mares race on the night. I thought Naze Vera was a terrific effort there first up. She had the back of Starlight Dream, who's usually a really good sit sprint horse, and Naze Vera, she was able to run past her almost widest on the track there. So given she was first up there, she's likely to take a lot of benefit out of that run. It was a bit of a dash home too, so it certainly wasn't a race which was conducive for horses making up a lot of ground. So I thought there was plenty of merit in that run, and she's going to be really hard to beat wherever she goes second up.
All right, so the horses to follow for Ollie: 2 Bob Cracker, Manhattan Moon, Naze Vera, Matt, following Flying Rumour, Lusaka, Better Than Secret. So that's Friday night. We turn our attention to today, Pinjarra. And Ollie, we'll let you start here. Your first selection's coming up in the middle part of the afternoon.
Yeah, first one comes up in race 4, and it's certainly a horse that doesn't win often in Mango Tango. He's 3 from 127, and he's been heavily supported early, and I was pretty keen on him, but certainly some reservations on whether he is a winner or not. But we'll find out today. I think he's racing really well. He's been just badly held up in his last couple of starts with nowhere to go. 2 starts ago at Pinjarra, he started from gate 7 and he looked to be travelling nicely and just had nowhere to go. And then his latest start was, I thought, really good behind Franco Moto, who looks like a really nice Kiwi. He was badly held up again there. He looked to be bolting, nowhere to go again, and he finished right out the back. But I thought the effort had a lot more merit than that, and this race looks just a lot easier than that race there. It's a lightning lap. It's a pretty moderate field. I think he can be driven a number of ways over this trip, and I think he's going to be really, really hard to beat in this race. Certainly respect Feeling Empathy, who's likely to be the leader, but hopefully Mango Tango can record his 4th victory from 128 starts for connections there. And then I'm off to race 5, and one that's going to go around a pretty big price is Good Times Ahead. I thought he represented pretty good each-way value here. He's a horse that's contested much better races than this one. He's really well suited by the switch back to the NR system. I think earlier in the year he took on horses like Magnus Victor, Spyglass, and they're just 100 metres better than these horses. And he trialled okay recently. He was up against He's a Vibe, and I thought he hit the line reasonably there. So he should take a lot of benefit out of that run. I think he can be sat up, say, for one run here, and he can be really hard to beat in this type of company at an each-way price. And the last one I had for us was in race 7, another one that's likely to go around pretty good each-way odds in Stormy Skies. I thought she was great in her last effort, which was at Gloucester Park there. It was a really solid race. Mickey's Pride won that race, and he ran really fast time, 1:53.2. That's probably as quick as anything in this race could go. So I think he can probably work around to the breeze, control the race from there. She's a really tough mare. So I think maybe Madame Maggie, there's a little bit of a query on her toughness. So if Stormy Skies can outstay her, maybe keep the favourite in her pocket, then she can be really hard to beat in that race as well, each way.
All right, so it's an each-way kind of a day. Mango Tango, $3.90 at the moment with Tab Touch, and then Good Times Ahead's at $12, while Stormy Skies is at $6 at the moment, so they're the 3 for Ollie today. Matt, what about you?
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting sort of program. I think the way the markets have played, there's sort of races that you can get involved in. I liked the first cut in race 3. I've got a lot of time for the horse. I thought some of the performances as a 2-year-old were really good, and then you take that horse away, give a spell, come back, is going to mature and effectively be better than what we saw last time in. And I think what we saw last time in, she deserves favouritism in this race. She's got the draw. Robbie Williams does a really good job with his team as a trainer, and I think she's going to be really hard to beat. So there's not really sort of a way that I like to play is betting on horses first up without really seeing them, but I was pretty confident in this race that the first cut could get the job done. Race 5, I liked Goggins for a place here. This horse is going to get a good run, just a peg line position, and I think 3 back the pegs is where we'll see Goggins. And when the field starts to open up in that last 400 metres, I think there'll be an opportunity to come wide or stick to the inside. But I think Goggins can get into the placings. And in race 6, I quite like Call to Arms for a place. I thought he's been hitting the line really well. His last couple of starts, he's a peg line professional, and I'm expecting him to run really strongly in this race. So I give him a decent chance to be able to run into the placings as well. Call to Arms around about that $3 quote. So race 3, first cut to win. Race 5, Goggins to place. Race 6, Call to Arms to place. The main plays for the day.
All right. Well, those last 2 in particular, $2.50 and $3 respectively, the place, and then the first cut at the moment, $1.80 with Tab Touch. So that's for today. Now we turn our attention to tomorrow night. Matt, we'll let you keep rolling. What's your early thoughts for Gloucester Park?
Yeah, look, race number 1, I'm with Lady De La Hoya, who's probably not been racing at the top of her game. She's been a little bit inconsistent, but this looks a really suitable grade. And over the mile, I think she can burn across and find the top. And if she does lead, I think she'll go very close to winning. It's not an overly deep race. There's a couple of dangers in the event. One's drawn a little bit wider, one's returning from a spell, and I think Lady De La Hoya's probably got more gate speed than that horse. So I think Lady De La Hoya can burn across and get to the top, and then I think where she may go wrong is when she has to try and settle over longer distances. So I think over the mile we can just see her dash across lead and then just sort of keep up a nice, even to solid tempo, and I think she'll just keep going. So Lady De La Hoya for me in race 1. And in race 3, I think Lazy Days will win the race on what I've seen from this preparation. He's sustaining good ability and good form lines, and his performances, he's just been able to really sustain a good run. So I think he's going to be hardest to beat. But I've taken a liking to Camel Plus this time in, and I thought the first up run at Pinjarra was good. And then on Saturday night, still a little bit green, but still performed quite well. So I think Camel Plus can nearly lead this, and then from there it's got decisions to make, but I think it's more of a place chance. So I'm hoping on the place side of things we could see Camel Plus get into the money. So race 1, Lady De La Hoya to win, and race 3 we'll go Camel Plus to place.
Camel Plus to place in race 3 after hopefully Lady De La Hoya starts our night off in good style. Ollie, you're obviously going to touch on Lazy Days in race 3, but your night's starting off in race 2 tomorrow night.
Yeah, looking to race 2, and I thought there was a runner here which was really, really impressive to the eye anyway last start in a lightning lap in Karaoke Star. Taken on the lightning laps last 4 starts, which is always a little bit of a query now coming back to a race over 2,100 metres. But I thought this horse was impressive last start, made a mid-race move and looked to sustain the run really nicely there. And He's Thunder was in second. I think He's Thunder's going okay as well. So that should stand up okay, that form line. And I think there'll be a little bit of speed on early. Sonic Steelster generally likes to go forward. Galveston John, this time Jacko, they're all go forward types. And if there's a bit of speed on, I can see Karaoke Star being really hard to hold out late. He does have good tactical speed, and I think this looks a suitable race with the claim of Liam Elliott. So looking at that one each way should be decent value there. And then, as Matt mentioned, in race 3, Lazy Days is going to be incredibly hard to beat. And I actually saw it the same way with Camel Plus. I thought it would be a really good place chance. And I was on there on Saturday night at Narrogin, and I thought she probably had the winner, and maybe there's just a little bit of greenness. But each run she's getting better. So I certainly think it looks a good race for her to run a placing, and she could be decent value there with Lazy Days likely to go around a pretty short price favourite. Excellent.
All right, gents, beautifully done. Thank you for your time this morning. Matt, you're off to Pinjarra?
I am off to Pinjarra. It's down the road.
All right.
Looking forward to it. I'll rug up.
Yes, it's going to be one of those days. Hopefully it stays dry and it's not too bad down there, but looks like it's going to be a wet sort of a day. Racing WA Harness X page, the place to be, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow.
Cheers, guys.
And Ollie, all the very best to you as well. Hopefully a few winners, and we'll catch up with you again throughout the course of the week.
Thanks, Tim.
There is Ollie Cownie and Matt Young, our experts, having a look back at the weekend. Aiden De Campo will be up next.
You are listening to Often Pacing for Lane Tomich's Snooze in Cannington and Coburn. It's amazing what a little snooze can do.
Great to have your company. Great to have Snooze on board for Often Pacing. Great supporters of harness racing and also Tab Radio in particular. And make sure you get in and check out what they have to offer. All right, let's get to our next special guest. He was able to get a winning double here on Friday night. And my hard copy double, obviously, with Copycat Queen, and last hard copy saluting. Aiden De Campo is his name. Aiden, good morning to you. Congratulations.
Yeah, good morning, Tim. Thanks for that, mate. Appreciate it.
A couple of nice winners there to work through. We might start with the mare if we can. Copycat Queen, able to take out the 4- and 5-year-old event on Saturday night. Were there a couple of moments where you were just wondering if that run would come?
Not really, Tim. She's kind of returned really well this time in. She's always been a filly last season that had a lot of ability, but tend to do a few things wrong in her races. She can over-race a little bit and do a few things wrong. And this time in, she seems to have come back a little bit more mature in her racing pattern, taken a fair bit of gear off her as well. And she seems to be, appreciating that. And she got a really good run on Friday when the horse 3 Deep was kind of battling a little bit. We just had to punch through and bide our time, and it'll drop out eventually. And lucky when she got out, she sprinted well. Yeah,
exactly right. That finishing burst that she did show, you'd think that having that versatility would hold her in good stead going forward as well with whatever you look to do with her.
Yeah, I think so, Tim. She's still, not highly rated, so she's only the 80 rater, so she's still got a fair bit to go before she has to race those top free-for-all mares. But I think with her high speed, and I think she does have a little bit of gate speed when we want to use it. Her problem in the past has been just getting a little bit revved up. So I think once she, kind of works her way into it, she'll measure up to those mares for sure.
So what do you look to do with her in the short term?
I just continue to push around on Friday nights, Tim. I think there's a mares race for her this Friday and up to 90 rating. So don't get Penny Black and those good mares in it. So that looks a good race for her. And then she'll have probably a fortnight between runs from there. And just keep pressing around and hopefully pick up a couple more before we give her another break.
So that is Copycat Queen. Good performance on Friday night in the 4 and 5 year old event. The 3-year-old boys had their turn a little later on in the evening. It looked on paper, obviously, to be a lovely race for Last Hard Copy. But when you go into a race like that, you're the lone runner on the back line. Is there just that potential that it could be stickier sometimes than perhaps what it needed to be? Was that on the back of your mind, or were you always pretty confident?
It was a little bit, Tim. Probably more the fact that I kind of didn't really have this race planned for him. I just gave him a bit of a break after his last start, and was wandering around last Saturday morning just looking at the fields for the program for the following Friday and seeing that race pop up. And he's a pretty naturally fit kind of horse, but he only had the one hobble run and one pace work run into that race. So I thought he might have been a little bit underdone, but I think he just had the ability, to kind of go into that race and, justify that short odds. And was hoping just to draw the front line and walk to the front. But the second row put a few spanners in the works, so he managed to get in the front and he managed to get the job done, which was good. Yeah, exactly right. He's put 4 in a line now. Do we start to think that he's now got real claims come the back end of the year when, granted, you are going to be going up against some good ones, headlined by Cyclone Geordie, but he's at home in that company? I think so, Tim. The only time he's been beaten this time in, we ran 5th behind Cyclone Geordie, and he got right back in that race, and I think the fence really followed through, and he kind of had to come three deep and back around him, and I thought he was a really good run in that. I thought it was probably his best run this prep, and he only ran 5th instead of winning. So I think he's up to him. Can't say, Cyclone Geordie, the way he's kind of been going, that we're going to be able to beat him. But he's got a lot of high speed, and he seems to be developing some toughness and cutting out some good miles in the process. So, I'm optimistic, probably more aiming towards the Westbred race, Westbred 3-year-old race. I think that's right. He'll be right up to his eyeballs in that. So, looking forward to the coming months with him and enjoying the ride that it's given the Lee family as well. They've been big supporters of mine. Even when I was a junior, they used to put me on all their horses and that. So it's good to repay the faith. And must have been nice to have them all on track there as well on Friday night and getting in the photo. Yeah, definitely. They've been in the game for a long time, and deserve a nice horse. So I'm just happy that they trusted me with him, and hopefully we can have a bit more fun to come. All right, now I'm going to ask you about a few of these 2-year-olds that you've got at the moment, but one goes around today in Copper Fine, so that's your lone runner on the Pinjarra program. What's the expectations going into this afternoon? I got 2 in that race, Timmy, but Copper Fine. He's probably. He's probably about 8-9 months off being a proper horse. I think he's quite a big, gangly kind of horse. He can brush a knee, so just giving him a little bit of experience now, probably 3 or 4 runs, and then we'll tip him out and give him a really good break. And I reckon he'll be a nice 3-year-old who just kind of hasn't put it all together as an early 2-year-old. Yeah, apologies. Better move, Matty. We just spoke about that race as well with Matt as well. So. What's the expectations here on debut? What's this guy showing you behind the scenes? Yeah, I really like the horse, Tim. I think he's what he showed me on the track at home. He'd be right up there with probably near on my best 2-year-old this year. He seems to have a fair bit of toughness and just a great attitude to go. So, hopefully he can take his track work to the races today and show race day what he's been showing us behind the scenes. But it does look a bit tough with the one of Bondi's drawn one. It was really good first up. So, I expect him to run a good race. If he wins, he wins. But, I think he'll be a top 3 player.
Okay, so that's your pair going around. You have got a couple of other drives as well, and we spoke about good times ahead. So it was Ollie that had good times ahead as a place chance. Did you see it that way, that good times ahead in race number 5 today was a live place chance?
He's a big class dropper. Trialled up okay the other day at Pinjarra. So, he'll just have to slide in somewhere. He's a bit of an opportunist kind of horse, but on his day and the way he's kind of dropped in class in the new point system, he probably gets him not too bad. So he'll need things to go his way, but hopefully he can run a drum.
Can Rock and Roll Nugget and Heart of Alia fit in that category as well, or it might be a stretch?
Rock and Roll Nugget's actually been trialling up okay, but I think the draw kind of plays him out of it first up. But and Heart of Alia's probably just been a little bit down on her best the last couple. David seems to think she's a lot better sat up, so we'll get that opportunity today. And looks like it's a pretty even kind of field, so hopefully the pace is on and she can be doing her best work up the straight.
Okay, just referencing the 2-year-olds there, we touched on the pair that you've got today. Wishing Bell, what's the latest with her, the Champagne Classic winner and the gold bracelet winner?
Yeah, she's not far off Timmy. I think she's probably going to go first up into those De Campo Memorial races Saturday week. She'll be going there. I think I'll have a fair few going there. I think I'll have about 3 fillies and maybe 5 colts. So, they're all starting to kind of come back. They're all working back up together, and looking forward to obviously the next 3 or 4 months where all these big 2-year-old races start to come up. Who are the other 1 or 2 2-year-olds that you're looking forward to getting back towards the feature races? Yeah, I think I've got a couple nice fillies this year. I've got that El Rey's Girl back in work now. Dave jogged her up and sent her back a couple of weeks ago, so she'll head there first up as well. She won 2 from 2 and was quite impressive in both of her races, even though they're only small fields. And, in the boys, I like the couple boys that I had go around in those sales classics earlier in the year. Better Behave and Wheels of Fortune. They just probably weren't those early kind of 2-year-olds. So I think they'll come back all right. And got another one here that trialled on Saturday, Crunch'em. He seems like he'll be a nice enough horse going forward. He's well bred, so hopefully he can live up to the expectations. Terrific. Well, good luck today and well done again on Friday night. Appreciate your time this morning and look forward to catching up with you in the coming days and weeks. All right, thanks, Timmy. There is Aiden De Campo with us on Off and Pacing. Thanks to the team at Snooze. It's been great to have your company this morning. Matt and Ollie, if you missed their bets for today, their suggested plays, Mango Tango, Good Times Ahead, and Stormy Skies in races 4, 5 and 7, respectively for Ollie. Matt today going with race 3, First Cut as his best. He likes Goggins and also Call to Arms on an each-way, but certainly place-heavy basis there in races 5 and 6, respectively. So hopefully there's a winner amongst all of that. Look forward to your company again next week on the program. As I mentioned, big thanks to Snooze as well for being on board with Off and Pacing over the coming weeks. Look forward to doing it all again next week. Have a great day today.
Thanks for listening to Off and Pacing for Snooze Cannington and Coburn. It's amazing what a little snooze can do.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelpline.org.au.